It's a weekly rally organized by progressives that touches on a number of issues. But today, demonstrators were clearly focused on one thing: gun control.
We are here today to ask Congress to act.
And among those speaking out, Representative Earl Blumenauer. The congressman from Portland joined a chorus of Democrats demanding Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell immediately return to Washington so the Senate can vote on gun control legislation in the wake of two deadly mass shootings this weekend. The Senate is currently in recess until September. Democrats want the Senate to go back into session and vote on a gun safety bill that has already passed the House. It would create background checks for a greater number of gun purchases.
And what's so frustrating is one of the first things we did in this Congress was pass a package of legislation dealing with gun safety. It's been sitting in the Senate for 6 months. And I am hopeful that the people will understand that there are things we can do going forward.
In 2015, Oregon passed its own version of this law by requiring background checks for all private person-to-person gun sales in the state. Senator McConnell has offered prayers to the victims and families, but announced no action on the legislation. Back to you.